Hey guys, Dylan from Noble Records coming at you with another video. Trying to knock out heavy rotations this evening for you. My last heavy rotations, man, I just woke up in the morning. It was like 6 a.m. and my voice was real deep. Like, you know how when you first wake up, your voice is just different? And my had like bags under my eyes. I was like, and so probably won't do that again. I watched it back and I was like, oof. But anyways, got a lot of really cool things to show you. Just I grabbed this is a really small stack from what I normally have, but got some really all killer no filler stuff. So I a lot of this stuff came from. I haven't been buying a lot lately. I've been trying to be good. I've had the shop. It's been one of those months, man. Everything that could possibly go wrong has, and it's just like I'm not complaining. I mean, love having a shop and everything, but like the AC went out and it's still super hot here, and then I found out I was gonna have to pay for it, so that's like thousands and thousands of dollars, and so we're working on that now, and so I had to shut the shop down for a couple of days because it was just too hot, and so I've been trying to save some money and not spend so much, on records, and so. And been trying to enjoy some of the records I already have, but some of this stuff I've bought like the past couple months, and like if I don't feel comfortable enough talking about it on one of my videos, I'll kind of set it in another stack, and I'll talk about it later. So I've been getting to some of that backlog of stuff I've been meaning to listen to, cool stuff I've been finding in collections, and then like all that stuff. So I told you about like I went to Virginia, dug out a bunch of really good records from a friend of mine, and I've got some of those records in here, and then a couple friends of mine are dealers, and we've swapped and stuff, and so that's where all this stuff came from. But there's a lot of stuff from his collection that I got that I'm still processing through and trying to, see what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to sell. So, um, ooh, ate Italian food for dinner. Don't normally do that, so you'll have to excuse me. I showed this. I did a video recently, my last video a couple days ago, and it was like pros and cons of collecting records, and I mentioned this. But if you hadn't seen that video, felt like I needed to talk about this again. So this was the copy I had, and I showed this record in one video. I think like 3 videos ago I showed it or something, and somebody's like, "Do you have to show that record every single video?" I'm like, "Yeah." Anyways, this is the copy I had. This is the new copy. I have 3 copies right now. One of them is going to a friend of mine. And then the other one, I'm going to keep this one. So this is the 67 pressing now. As you know, it came out in 66. This is the 66 pressing. They're both mono. This is the 67. The only way you know the difference is on the back cover. You see right here how it has 3 columns right here. This one has 4. And so if you have a copy that has 4 columns, I mean, if you have an early pressing or original pressing, more than likely it's got the 4 columns. The 3-column back is like super, super hard to find. That means it was the very first pressing before they fixed the credits on the back. And this one actually has the hype sticker, which is just impossible to find. So I found a guy that had this and kind of negotiated a deal with him and ended up getting it. Now this is it's a decent copy. I mean, for what it is, it's in good shape. Because I found a bunch of these before that were just trashed. This copy is even better. It plays better. It's incredible. This one sounds incredible. This one doesn't play as good as that one, so I'll probably keep both of them to have. I really, if you know me, you know I really try to only keep 1 copy of every record, so I don't keep multiple copies and pressings and stuff. But this is a record I'm gonna let myself have 2 copies of because it's just that good. Oof, Silver Bart. Friend of mine, Dan over at Dots and Loops, he had a YouTube channel, and I don't know if it's up anymore, but he always posted videos about like hard rock and psychedelic hard rock and stuff. Had an amazing, amazing collection. He was one of my absolute favorite channels, and I mean, hands down. I wish you could watch all his videos again because I think he took them all down, but just he had such a wealth of knowledge of like hard rock records, like especially like prog and krautrock and like that early 70s hard rock stuff. Just unreal collection. And so he recently kind of got to where he isn't he's not posting on his videos anymore, and then I think he sold a bunch of records. I actually bought a few from him. This wasn't one of them, but this is one I learned from his channel. So this is Silver Bar. He did this series. It was the top 100 hard rock face melters or something like that, and it was I was sitting there. I copied a list of all 100, and I tried to get them on. I still am trying because there's a ton on there. There's a ton on there that are like impossible to get, but this is one, Silver Bar. It's a krautrock record. Really good, nasty guitar riffs on it. This is just quintessential krautrock. Incredible stuff. This is an original German pressing. So a friend of mine has been selling me a few like really killer hard rock records and psychedelic records. This is one of them. This is one I've been looking for probably about 5 years, and really glad to cross this off the list because this is one of those records, you can't find it over here. You got to like the original pressings were only in Germany, so it's not even, you can't even find it here. There's no way. So it's very, very grateful for that one. I bought that a while ago. And then also from him, he sold me this record, which there's only 500 copies of this ever made. This is called Zipper, and it is hard, heavy fuzz. I mean, this is deep fuzz rock. The fuzz guitar licks are out of this world. I mean, it's in the same territory as like Truth and Janie. Real good, real fuzzy hard rock. Love it. I've been looking for a copy of this for a really long time, years and years. And he had one, and he sold it to me for a decent price, and I got it in the mail. So excited to put it on. And I opened up the package, and USPS had cracked it in half. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, there's only 500 copies of this thing. The cover was fine, but the record was cracked in half. So I actually was able to line it up to where it still played. And you could play it, but it was just, it was I hated to reach out to him, but I was like, man, this thing, it wasn't even really his fault. It just happens, you know what I mean? And I was like, do you have another one? I mean, there's only 500 in the world. It just made me sick to my stomach. Like if it happened to like a, Chicago record or something, whatever. But I mean, this, so sad. So anyways, he actually was able to track me down another copy. And so this is the second copy. And this is really, really incredible stuff. I love this record so much. Zipper. Let's see. This one, this is another one I got recently. I actually have 2 copies of this. I'm going to be putting one in the shop in a couple weeks. But this is Seasons by Pete Jolly. It's a white label promo, and this sucker is near mint. I had found a copy of this maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. I didn't know what I was doing. I bought this collection, and I remember walking in. This guy had passed away, and I walking in this trailer, and he had like 3,000 or 4,000 records in the spare bedroom. And I remember going in and looking, and like a lot of it was just junk. But he worked at a radio station, and he brought home a record every day. And so it was full of like radio station stuff, and none of it was like crazy good. It was just all like whatever. The best thing I found in there was I found a sealed original press with a hype sticker of the band Music from Big Pink. I got a good bit of money for that, but I didn't pay a lot for it. There wasn't a lot of really good stuff in there, but there's a lot of promos, a lot of things that were in good shape, and a lot of sealed stuff. But they had this one in there, and I didn't know what it was, and I looked it up, and at the time I think it was going for like $60 or $75, and that's what I sold it for. And past couple years, it got put back on my radar, and I've been listening to it. I'm like, man, I hate that I sold that. But it's Pete Jolly, and it's like, so Pete Jolly did like a lot of stuff you wouldn't think about. He did a lot of, you've probably heard his soundtracks. Like he did a bunch of soundtracks for like TV shows and movies and all that stuff. Very proficient. Did like a ton of prolific. I mean, ton of stuff. This is the only record he put out that I like. I've checked out all his other ones, and they're just really nothing to write home about. But this is very like vibey Fender Rhodes type of feel to it. There's some like jazz funk numbers on it. This is an absolute beautiful, beautiful record. You could stream it. You've got to hear this record. It's fantastic. Pete Jolly, Seasons. And like I said, I've got another copy. My other copy's kind of noisy. And this is one I really like to have a clean copy of because my system's so sensitive. So I'm going to put that one in the shop here in a couple weeks. This is one of the ones I got from my friend in Virginia. This is called A Rising from Short Cross. Short Cross was a band in Virginia. They played like... There's a funny story about like their first battle of bands they ever entered in like 1967. The lead singer had an idea of like going through the crowd and telling everybody, "Hey, if we win Battle of the Bands, we're gonna get a keg and throw a huge kegger." So and it was like gauged by crowd like applause or whatever. So when they went on stage, they won because they told everybody they were gonna throw a kegger, and they did. So they were notorious about going around and entering these battle of bands and crushing it and winning. And there's just, man, really, really good, like psychedelic garage, hard rock, fuzz guitar. This is a fantastic record. Really good, like packaging and production for private press. I think there's only 1,000 of these, but it's got a gatefold and the record cover. I mean, this is like a same level of production as like a Black Sabbath album or something like that. So, but this is like in the area they were known for their live shows and stuff. They toured all the time. They even opened for, I think they opened for Deep Purple and Black Sabbath and a couple other big bands I can't remember, but really cool record, really cool band. Rising by Short Cross. This is one to put on your radar. It's tough to find. So when I found that, I was super excited. This is another one that came from him. This is one I've been looking for probably for about a year. So not that long, but this is Pink Flag by Wire. This is, in the post-punk, pre-punk television. Like, it reminds me a lot of the same vein of like Television, Marquee Moon. This is a really, really, really good record. A guy that's a friend of mine, I think you probably watch his channel, Ethan. He had a copy of this maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, I don't know. And he kind of offered it to me, and I was like, man, I've seen that cover, but I've never really listened to it. That's not really my, thing. And he was like, well, it's a really great record. I recommend you listen to it. And I sold it to somebody else, whatever. And I started listening to it, and I listened to it here and there, and I got reissues in the shop. I had a reissue, and I played it all the time. Every time I played it, somebody buy it, and I just fell in love with it. It's just a really, really killer record. And I've been looking for original press. This is a 78, 77 original pressing. Great condition. Stoked to have this record. It's very good. If you like Television, Marquee Moon, you haven't heard that. It's kind of on the same level, in my opinion. This is one a friend of mine brought in the shop. We did some swapping. This is the Everyday People. This is there's the first song is called Funky Granny, which is like real good. But yeah, this is a really good funk record. Really tough to find. The Everyday People. But it's just a really fun record. A lot of great grooves and breaks and stuff on it. But Everyday People, great record, love it. Another one I got was it's funny. Nico, the Marble Index. This is an original UK. Let me show you this label. An original Electra UK. This is one of those. This is not my favorite Nico record. So Nico probably from Velvet Underground and Nico. Nico is a model, and she dabbled in music as well. She also notoriously dated Iggy Pop, and she was much older than him. But that's neither here nor there. I think there's just something about, I don't know. I like her. I mean, I know that her, like this album especially, is an acquired taste. I probably wouldn't like this record. I think I had it at one point years ago, and I was like, well, who am I kidding? I'm not going to like this. And sold it. She obviously, my introduction to her was Velvet Underground and Nico. But I've since started collecting some of her other records, and what's the one that, man, I can't remember the one I like so much. I keep wanting to say Marble Index, but that's just because that's the one I'm holding. Anyways, whatever. This is a cool record, acquired taste, but she's very avant-garde, not normal pop, even like French pop, that's a little weird. It's not even that. It's just, it's very, it's a little out there. But I still like it. And I needed to have that record. This is another one. So, a viewer, Frank, if you're watching this, appreciate you. He had some records that he was willing to let go of. Let's see, I think there's another one down here somewhere that's like pretty good. That was the chair, that sound that I made. But anyways, I can't find the other one. I think it's in my box actually right here. But he had some hard rock records that were grails that he was willing to get rid of, and I ended up talking him into selling them to me. So here they are. There's a couple of them. This is Tractor. Fantastic hard rock record. I've been wanting this for a good while. It's one of those things. I've been on eBay. I've like almost everybody that has it is in the UK or something, and the shipping really throws off the price. And I'm like, and they won't budge, and I won't budge, and it's like, I can never get it to a reasonable price that I want. But me and him, we grouped some things together, and we're able to make a deal. This was a month or so ago, probably. But this Tractor is an absolute smoker. Just hard rock record on Dandelion Records. This is original press. Really phenomenal stuff. Also, in that same vein is Stonehouse Creek, 1971. Some insanely good guitar work on here. Just freaking love this record. It is out of this world. And it's another one. I've never even seen a copy of it in the flesh. Very, very tough to find. Stonehouse Creek, 1971. And this was in like perfect shape. Last but not least, I'm sure you guys have seen this record. This is Little Free Rock. Fantastic record. This is not free, it's Little Free Rock. But yeah, incredible stuff. Original press, really good condition. And he actually also, this is gonna blow your mind probably, but I got another copy of Randy Holden Population 2 from him. So if you watch my channel, you know I already had one. These are both original pressings. This one I got a couple months ago, and it has a lot of ring wear on it. This one had less ring wear. It's a little bit better condition, so this is like an upgrade copy for me. But then also a really good friend of mine that has been looking for this record for as long as I have. I kind of promised him that if I ever found a second copy, it's one of those things I'm like, okay, yeah, if I ever find a second copy, I'll sell it to you or trade it to you or whatever. Like, that's never going to happen. There's supposedly only 88 copies. See, that's the thing. Like, so I have 2 of them and there's 88. There's no way. There's got to be more than that, but it's probably just folklore or something. Anyways, Groove Deep Records had this on their Instagram, and this is one of the few I've bought lately. This is an SF Sorrow with the pretty things. This is an original German press. I've been wanting an original press with the, the UK's go for more, but I just been wanting one with that original artwork. As a lot of these psychedelic records go, the original UK's go for a lot more. But the German's just fine with me. 1968. I have talked about this record before. It's not near me, but it's got another cover that's shaped like a tombstone. And that's the one I've always had. That's the original US press. And it's a great cover, like really cool. And I'll probably keep them both because they're different covers, but I've often described this album as, if you like Sgt. Pepper's, if you like that era of the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's, Magical Mystery Tour, stuff like that. This is that same sound, but it's a lot sadder. So this is just sadder Beatles. That's what they should have been called. But incredible record. This is an early example of a concept album. Really good stuff, and that original cover is just tough to find. So super grateful to have that one. A friend of mine sells me stuff sometimes. Like, he'll pull out a bunch of stuff from his collection, stuff that, Rolling Stones, Zeppelin, Beatles, Pink Floyd, stuff like that he's got doubles of or whatever, and he'll stack it up, and then, like, once a month or something, he'll send me a flip video of all the stuff he's going to sell, and he's like, hey, how much would you give me for this? And he just ships it all to me. I don't even know where he lives, somewhere in the continental U.S., but he was telling me that he had this Blind Faith promo, which I actually, believe it or not, already had one. So I was like, well, sweet, I can put that in the shop, whatever. So he said, yeah, it's really clean. Blind Faith promo, VG Plus at least. And so I was like, yeah, I'm all over it. That's great. So bought that from him, and I was looking up, I was like, how much do these actually go for? Because it's got to be rare. It's a white label promo. Any popular rock record like this, on Atlantic, is going to be, the white label promo is going to be worth considerably more. And I went on Discogs to look at what they were going for, and the median was $25 or $20, or no, actually I think the median was $7. And I went and looked on PopPsych, and they've been selling for $150, $100, something like that. And clean copies of them going for $100 to $150, something like that. And so I was like, man, what the heck is up with this Discogs number? So I went to go look, and somebody just listed 1 or 2 copies for really cheap years and years back. So I was like, man, that is really weird that the median would be that low on it, because it's, And then I looked, and someone had one for sale for $25, and it said VG Plus. So I was like, heck yeah, boom, I'm buying it. So now I have 3 copies, and this one just came in the mail. And I look at it, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It is not. It is not this. It is actually the mono. And the mono is worth way more than the stereo. And the stereo is worth 100 to 150-ish. So the mono is probably, I've seen the monos go for $600 before. 5 to 6 sometimes. And so I ended up getting this for $25 just because Discogs was wrong. And someone put it on there for too cheap. So I was happy to get that. When I got it in the mail, I was like, what? So anyways, that's pretty cool. I posted this on my Find This Record Instagram this week. This is Kane, Pound of Flesh. So this is a 1975 hard rock record. I had this already, but my copy was cracked. The edge of it was cracked. So the first song skipped. And it drove me nuts. You can still play most of the record, but this is like a $75, $80 record. And I remember when I bought it knowing it was cracked for $5. And I was like, well, whatever. It's cracked. It has a nice cover. So I just found a copy with a trash cover with stickers and marker and all this stuff all over for super cheap. And so I swapped them, the cover. So now I've got a nice record and a nice cover with not much money invested. This is a really killer hard rock record. It's not too expensive. Won't break the bank, like I said, about $75. Kane, Pound of Flesh. That is one I would not sleep on. So I posted this on my Find This Record Instagram account, and randomly this guy commented and said, hey, if you like that, you should check out this record called Scarlet Fever from Ohio, which is this super rare record that there's no sound clips of online anywhere. But I just so happen to have just gotten one. So random. So I told you guys about this music shop that comes up from Georgia sometimes, B&T Music, and they bring me records for trade and stuff sometimes. And they brought me that Primeval record, and they brought me a Miles Davis Kind of Blue white label promo, a couple things like that. So anyways, they brought me a bunch of these mystery sealed hard rock records from the early 80s. And this was sealed. There's no sound waves of it anywhere online, anywhere, nothing. So I was like, man, I've got to open this. I hate to open them, but I've got to hear it before I sell it. And, it's not really worth that much different if you open them. So anyways, I open this up, and it is a burner. Killer stuff. And I'll actually show you, if anybody knows anything about any of these, there are some sound clips to these, but not, you can't listen to the whole album. These are all sealed. This is Desire, The Awakening. I don't know anything about it except for these guys. They're really good at fashion and probably rocking, because it's worth a good bit. It's sealed. This Stun, Crank It Out. There is a YouTube video of one of their songs, and it sounds really killer, so I'm probably going to open this and listen to it soon. It's worth a lot. And this Scepter, just it's begging to be opened and listened to. So yeah, I think the median's $75 to $100. I can't remember, but all those are kind of more expensive records, and I don't know what they sound like, and I'm gonna have to listen to them. So anyways, Gosh, even still with a smaller stack, I'm going on forever. This is Piranha, uh, Australian hard rock, but has like more of a Santana feel to it. A lot of people call them the Australian Santana. There's even some like funkier vibes to some of it. So Harvest, this is an original press, super tough to find, but Grail hard rock record from Australia. Super to having to have that one. These are actually be quick. Brother Jack McDuff, Moon Rapping. So I just got a copy of this maybe 3 or 4 months ago. It's original pressing, but it was like VG at best. Not even, not it was. It's noisy. You know what I mean? So this actually I got from that friend in Virginia, and this is a second pressing. It came out in 1970, so it's got that label, but it actually came out the same year. So that label is the reissue, I guess, but it's still a 1970 pressing. Whatever. This one's really clean. It sounds fantastic, but this is just so dang funky. It is so good. If you like that jazz funk, you gotta check this out. Brother Jack McDuff, Moon Rapping. It's on Blue Note. It is out of this world. Like, I love Blue Note, everything obviously, but it's just not what you think of when you think of Blue Note. It's just funky, and it is good stuff. So I got to figure out which one I want to keep, and you know me, I'm a psycho, so I'll probably keep them both. But I've got the original with the white and blue Blue Note label, and then that one's supposedly the repress, but sounds better. It's just kind of a conundrum. This is another one, MC5, Kick Out the Jams. This is, I don't think I've showed this yet, but this one's a super clean copy with the Kick Out the Jams sticker. This is the censored version. Now, I do have a copy of the uncensored. It's, it's in a little bit rough shape. Not too bad. This one's like super clean. So I'm probably going to keep this one as a backup, you know what I mean? That sounds better. Fantastic record, obviously. It's killer. I'm sure you've heard of MC5, but just this is one of the proto-punk predecessors of punk. Killer stuff. Love this record. But the difference is the original says, before Kick Out the Jams, you go, all right. Are you ready to kick out the jams, mother effer? But this one says, are you ready to kick out the jams, brothers and sisters? And you're like, ah, dang it. I mean, I don't go around saying the F word, but that's not what it's supposed to say. So it's like, this is one I found at a yard sale. This is the Clark Sisters. Clark Sisters, really good, funky gospel with some killer like funk bass lines. All the Clark Sisters stuff's worth a good bit. This record's worth like $40 or $50, not that much, but it's just got some really killer funky bass lines to it. This one is really funny. I'm gonna show this one first because you might. This was Green Bullfrog. This is one I heard of from the VC, like the vinyl community here. That it was one to look out for because the back it just says like the I don't even know. It's like so it says the members of the band are like Speedy and Jumpy and all these like nicknames for frogs, but they're also like they're it's a pseudonym for so Speedy, Sleepy, Bevy, Sorry, Boots, the Boss, all these different nicknames for the frogs, but the real names of them are Richie Blackmore, Albert Lee, Jim Sullivan, not the folk singer, but the studio guitar player. So there's a lot of really killer players on this, and you wouldn't even know. But this is called Green Bullfrog, and it's just like nasty, dirty blues rock. And it was one of those like I've been looking for it for so long, I didn't realize it wasn't worth that much money. So I didn't pay too much for it, but it's just kind of like I looked it up. I was like, man, I thought that was worth more money, but it's worth like $25. I don't know. This is one I always like try to listen to, like University of Jazz Ensemble, something like that. This is jazz band from a university. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look great. But I got this in a collection a while ago, and I just threw it on the shop to see, because sometimes the stuff can be real funky. And all this is kind of bleh, but there's one number on there that's real funky, got some killer guitar work on it. And so that kind of makes it a really cool track that most people probably don't know. So that's really cool. So all these like school, like jazz bands and stuff, man, I always pick them up. And sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Julius Brockington, the United Chair. I might have shown this in the past, but this is a really killer funk record. It was sampled by a bunch of people, like Madlib sampled. The one on here is 49 Reasons. A bunch of people sampled it, but really killer funk record. I've been listening to this lately. Great stuff. And then this one, now, forgive me, I do not know. So one of my blind spots in music is Prince. I know enough about Prince to get by, but really his catalog and stuff, like I'm not super versed in Prince. And you guys, not everybody's perfect. I know Prince was one of the most phenomenal, musicians that ever walked face the planet. I know that. I don't know everything, guys. I try, but I don't know it all. So this is Madhouse. And I got this in, I don't even know when. I found this in a box of records somewhere in the back. And this is on Paisley Park, which is Prince's record label. This is a jazz funk record. And it's like jazz funk fusion. And it is like dynamite, man. It's really, really good stuff. So, if you don't know this Madhouse record, it's cool. I would recommend you checking it out if you get the chance. So that's been your weekly heavy rotations. Thank you guys so much for watching this. We'll see you next time.